Joining me now is Tina Blanco with WorldviewTalk.com. Tina, welcome back to the broadcast. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Since the last time we spoke, Brannon, there's been a lot of things that are happening.
Yeah, so, and these fires in California, wow, right? I mean, even the governor apparently couldn't even get a cell signal the other day. And I said to my wife, why does this Gavin Newsom, as Trump calls him, why does he not have a cell phone? I mean, if he needs a cell phone, he ought to call me up. I can probably arrange to get him a cell phone if he's too dumb to go get one himself. Why is the governor of a state, any state, but a state the size of California, during a natural emergency, a statewide emergency, not running around with a satellite phone? Can you answer that one for me, Tina?
Yeah, we are so unprepared. Our government, our first responders that work for the government, they're so not prepared. I mean, we saw what happened in Hawaii when the fire happened. People couldn't call 911 because 911, one of the biggest cities or the most popular cities, at least for vacationers, didn't have satellite backup communication to get help. So yeah, of course, they don't have satellite communication. Brannon, right now, we have had to drive so many phones to Los Angeles. Thankfully, we're only 2 hours away from LA, to so many first responders.
Wait a minute, you're driving, government. You're in California right now?
Our company is in California, and we continue to get orders every day since the fire started to go and deliver to a lot of people, Hollywood, movie stars, because their cell phones don't work. So the only way that they can communicate is using a satellite phone. So we're getting a lot of business out of this. Unfortunately, people should be more prepared. You shouldn't have to wait until a disaster happens and you can't use your cell phone and realize that you should have had a satellite phone.
Now, we are delivering. You're getting calls from first responders. So your company in California is getting first responders calling for satellite phones, which means that the county, the city, or the state government has not provided them with satellite phones in the event you have a catastrophe that takes down cell towers. So you're telling me city, state, and county officials have never sat around and said, hey, we ought to make sure we have all of our fire stations have satellite phones to communicate. Really?
Yeah. A lot of these phones are going to the firefighters, a lot of them first responders that are with the city, and then just individuals that are going up there to help. So yeah, we are it's just been crazy. We've been sending out hundreds of satellite phones every single day since these fires started, because more and more people are realizing, and not just that, generators, solar panels, all kinds of emergency stuff that they're not prepared for, because they're also shutting down a lot of the electricity because of fires, and you don't want live wires. So they're either burning down or the city is shutting them down. So yeah, it's we're realizing there are more people that are not prepared than there are. And look, California is just one of the least amount of state that is, as far as the state, the government, the least that's prepared. And I think it's because they cut a lot of the budget. I think I heard that the budget is cut, and that's the reason why these firefighters couldn't fight these fires.
Yeah, 17 million was cut out of the budget. They wanted 23 million cut out, but they cut 17 million out. And of course, now they don't have water. The reservoirs aren't full. They're dumping their water into the ocean. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Let's talk real quick. Colonel Rob Maness said earlier that what is happening in Los Angeles, he said, and this is a guy that was in the nuclear prevention deterrence arena of the Pentagon and helped write the black book of it goes with the nuclear football. So this is what this guy's trained to do and the former commander of Kirkland Air Force Base. He said you could see with the enemies of America, foreign and domestic, and those who have infiltrated us, you could see catastrophes of unimaginable consequences in 100 cities in America. He said, imagine the disruption of life and services that's happening in LA, happening in 100 cities across America. I'm sure most people in LA, while they have mudslides and rain and fire and winds and Santa Ana, I'm sure most of them never expected this, because this is going to perhaps be the biggest fire disaster in American history. But what I'm trying to say is everyday Americans should not count on their water, their electricity, their cell towers, and everything always being there, always working. In fact, as Gordon Chang has said, they should prepare for being without this critical infrastructure for weeks or months. He's even said, Gordon Chang, we should be prepared for not having any active government for 6 months. No active government for 6 months. And, pretty much the people of LA right now don't have a government, because if you were to have a problem and call 911, how soon do you think you're going to get someone to show up at your house?
They weren't there people were sitting there watching their houses burn down, and there were no fire department in sight because there aren't enough of them. And then plus with the budget cut, it did affect it. And not only that, it is going to affect the rest of the country with a lot of the drivers and the products that come through, the ports there. And so this is definitely what you said, it's going to affect hundreds of cities. It is. But Brannon, we all have a way to prepare for ourselves. We need to be prepared. I mean, we need to have backup communication. We need to have backup generators, backup solar. We need to have backup food for weeks and weeks. I mean, you and I do.
Yep, I do. I have a couple years worth.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. And that's the thing. And what happens, I mean, these folks that lost their homes, I just feel so bad because a lot of families did lose their homes. And, they've all had to go and try to find another place to stay. I'm sure, most of them have families. So I feel really, really bad. And there's not a thing you could have done other than have a grab bag that had food, water, communication, solar, and those are the things that you need to have anyways for a grab bag on the go. And we saw that, you're showing that picture of that grab bag that we do have that has everything you need to go in case you have to grab something and go. So Sat 123, Brandon, right now we have a free satellite phone that you can get. And then also we're giving away free backpack, bulletproof backpack with that, so that you'll have a backpack to put all of your needs that you would need, like your passport in case you have to grab and go, in case this event happened in your town, that you would put all of your emergency and then you just grab it and go. But we are seeing a lot of people that are not prepared in Los Angeles area, and there is no cell service. Cell towers are burned down.
And that's not going to get replaced in the next 2 weeks, or even probably the next 4 weeks. Yeah. From Hurricane Milton in Sarasota is where I spend most of my time. There's still areas that cell service is still not back, and that was quite a few months ago. So it is going to take some time. And then the inauguration that's coming up, if you're going to be anywhere in the area, you should carry a satellite phone. Most people are. Most people in government are carrying satellite phones for that event. But you never know, the cell service could go down and there could be a chaos. Our reporter's taking one of our sat phones to be able to report. So if we can't get a video feed, we'll at least be able to get an audio feed of him into the control room with his picture on screen. So he's got one of your satellite phones, our reporter, Neil.
Yeah, it's highly recommended. Look, we have them for free. You don't have to pay $1,000 for the phone. You just pay $95 a month. It's a 15-month agreement. That's the 14-month is the break even for us. And then you also get a free bulletproof Faraday backpack, which is about $200. I just want to remind people, satellite phones work on 100% of the earth. Cell phones work on 7% of the earth. Satellites, there's your satellite phone. It goes direct to the satellite, so you don't need so if the cell towers burn down or if they go down, you're still going to have a connection. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. As long as you can see the sky, you're able to make a call. So it's time, I think, that all of us that Americans, we just need to be prepared, and communication is a big part of preparedness next to food and water. It's the, I think it's the third thing. And then we also have the generators, solar panels, the bivy stick, the one that you're holding, that turns your cell phone into a two-way communicator. Also keep in mind, Brendan, it's all encrypted. All of your conversation, your texting on a satellite phone, no one can listen in on them. This is the reason why the U.S. military uses the satellite phone, because they know that the bad guys cannot listen in or cannot read the text messages other than the person that you're actually sending them to. So yeah, so it's a lot of benefits. You've got your encryptions, you've got your, your backup communication. And yeah, so nobody's going to rescue you. If there's a big disaster, you have to take care of yourself and your family. So we're just asking people to just, if you can afford to be prepared with communication, second after food and water, then, it's highly recommended.
And this, of course, the bivvy is where you can two-way communicate. So you can buy 2 and save, buy 3 and save. So buy one for your family members, your immediate family members that maybe travel or live in another state. So at the very least, you'll be able to text. So if you don't all have satellite phones, if you have satellite phones, you're going to be able to talk and text. But at the very least, you can get the bivvy, sync it to your existing cell phone, text through that cell phone. The cell phone text will go to that bivvy, to a satellite, down to them and their bivvy. So at least you'll be able to communicate with your family members. And, that's very, very important. So as always, we hear these natural disasters that people are like, I can't get a hold of my parents. I can't get a hold of my sister. I can't get a hold of whoever. Can someone please go there? This is, again, where if people had the ability to, with a satellite phone or even a bivvy, they could at least communicate and say, hey, cell towers are down. I'm out of the area. I'm fine. We're at a local hotel in this town, or we had to drive 50 miles to another city. We're checked into a hotel. At least they would be in communication, where you have these panicked people asking folks to go by their family or friend's house. They're just asking random strangers on social media, can you go by and check on them?
Yeah, and I just want to point out that the satellite phones can text and call any number. You don't have to have another satellite phone. So if there's a disaster in your area, you're able to call or send out a text to your friends and family outside of the states. And within my understanding from my employees that are driving up there to bring the phones to the first responders, there is no cell service in some areas 10 to 20 miles away from the fires, because the cell towers are pretty much down in a very large area. So it does affect a lot of the areas that don't have fires as well. So just wanted to point that out.
Absolutely. Well, as always, Tina, thank you for all you do for us and for so many in our audience. Our audience really appreciates you. So thank you, Tina.
Thank you so much. Can I just also mention that we do have Starlinks, and Starlinks come, and I'm going to need to send you one, Brandon. So I'm going to send you one of these. This is it. It comes in a small suitcase.
Wow.
And this will get you internet service from anywhere on Earth to anywhere on Earth. So the internet being affected in a fire zone, this is what all of our first responders are getting, these suitcases, so that they can set up and send out emails and pictures or talk to the media from anywhere in LA, even in the areas.
I could sit there and from anywhere in the world and do a hook into Skype and broadcast.
Yes, you can. You could be in the middle of Antarctica. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to have internet.
And you guys have those, huh?
We do have those. We rent them and we sell them, and I'm going to be sending you one.
Okay, and how
so that you can test it out.
Well, thank you. And how do our people? That's not at worldviewtalk.com, probably. So how do they get one?
They can go to worldviewtalk.com and they can call the number there and just say, they heard us with you, because they get like 10% off if they mention your name. And so you can call the number that's on the screen. Excellent.
Wow. Excellent. Well, thank you, Tina. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Take care and God bless you.
You too. Tina checking in, worldviewtalk.com. Well, I look forward to showing you guys that Starlink. That'll be pretty cool, huh? Worldviewtalk.com, worldviewtalk.com. All right, before we wrap, look at this. Take a look at this right here. Brand new website, thanks to Jill, swishforlife.com. This is my newbie, the Melissa and I swish with. That's my beautiful wife, Melissa. She's, again, the one that finds these products and helps us develop them and test them and reads about them, because she has a medical social work background. She loves this kind of thing. She's really healthy. Well, you can tell. Doesn't she look healthy? There you go. So She is kind of our spokesperson on these things. Swishforlife.com, brand new website. It's new me, but we wanted to make our own website with our own information. So also we not only have a beautiful, attractive website, but we also make sure we're getting credit. So check out all the products, including the new me. You swish with it for about 3 minutes, get that glutathione in your system. Within 90 seconds, you got the glutathione in your system. Over 162,000 studies on PubMed on the power of glutathione. Some studies show it may remove mercury from your brain, helping prevent Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's. There you go, right? So check it out. Get a subscription to that. Join me in doing my new me every day, my Bella Grace every day, and I already drink my Gatatana. I do these 3 every day. What are you barking at? That's you, or that's me on the screen. Why are you barking at me on the screen? So do these 3, all right? Swishforlife.com, swishforlife.com, all right? There you go. Now you're on the screen. You want to look at yourself? You're looking the wrong way. Look up there. You're on TV now. You would bark at yourself if you saw it. You saw it the other day. Turn your head, look up there. You're not going to do it, are you? You want to go play in the snow? You love the snow. Today was her first day of snow. Woo, she loves the snow. All right, so there you go. Look at that dog. She's on Gatatana. She's starting to fill out, isn't she? Getting all muscled up, filling out. Good looking lab, isn't she? Nice head. Yep. She's tired, though. She played a lot in the Memphis snow today, man. 7 inches in Memphis. That's a big deal to us. Now let's get ready for it to melt and then freeze again and melt and freeze again and be a real mess. All right, roll the music. Let's call it a night. Worldviewfoundation.com. Remember, we're brought to you by you, folks. Many ways you can support us by doing business with these companies we do business with. Or if you just want to make a contribution, worldviewfoundation.com, worldviewfoundation.com. Come here, Dolly. You want to come say goodnight to everybody? Worldviewfoundation.com. Come here. Worldviewfoundation.com. You'll find our mailing. Are you going to stretch again? Well, you're stretching a lot. You'll find our mailing address there if you prefer to support us through the mail. Worldviewfoundation.com. Thanks for watching. May God save America. Take care. You go eat.